All right, Class A, here's a little intro to the video that is about to follow. First, you're going to hear the pronunciation guide notes that you may have taken before or during Spanish 2A. Then you're going to hear the information that makes this pronunciation guide 2.5. If you already have the notes from pronunciation guide levels 1 through 2, good, great. Please still listen to the information given because you're still accountable for it. You're still going to be held responsible for knowing what's in there. And how much can a little bit of review hurt you? So please listen, follow along, make sure your notes are correct, and then add the information at the end that you need to add to your notes. And if you're taking these for the first time, welcome. Please listen and carefully write down your notes. This here is just an intro screen, so you don't have to write this, but after this point, make sure that you write down everything exactly as you see it on the screen. Your notes should look just like my notes. Don't miss a thing. Here we go. Hola mis estudiantes. Here is just a quick guide to pronunciation to help you move along your path to become a better Spanish speaker and to earn those points on your translation presentations. So I always say that the cornerstone to pronouncing your words correctly in Spanish are your vowels. It's all in the vowels, or mostly all in the vowels. And this is level 1 stuff. Of course, you know your vowels are A, E, I, O, U. That's how we say them in English, and you guys know that in Spanish we say them A, E, O, U. To help you remember to keep these vowels consistent at all times, A is pronounced ah, like you're at the doctor's office. Ah, but it's nice and short. Ah. The letter E is pronounced the way a stereotypical Canadian ends their questions. Are we going to the hockey game tonight? Eh. So it's that eh sound. The letter I is pronounced like the I in police. E. O always is pronounced like the O in oh my goodness. O. And U's are pronounced like the double O sound in boo, ooh. You always want to keep your vowels consistent unless they're appearing in a combination that would then change their sound. Okay, let's also talk about some special consonants. What's nice about Spanish and English is that most of our consonants are pronounced very similarly. However, there are some exceptions to this, like H, J, two L's together, the N with the tilde on top or the Nye, the letter V, and the letter Z. Let's talk about how they are pronounced in Spanish. H's in Spanish are silent, totally silent. If you are pronouncing a word with an H in it, totally ignore it. The letter J in Spanish is how they make our H sound. The names Jose and Juan are spelled with J's because that's when they use the H sound. If you see two L's in a row, they do not any longer make an L sound. They make a Y sound. Me llamo, como te llamas, they make a Y sound. The letter N, when it has that squiggly on top of it or the tilde to make the Nye, is not pronounced like an N anymore. It's pronounced like an N followed by a Y. The thing that you hit at a party is not a pinata. That's not what the candy falls out from. It is a piñata, that NY sound, sort of like how we pronounce lasagna, NY. Okay, the letter V in Spanish is not pronounced the way we say it in English. It's not like in very, where your teeth hit your lips. It's more of a sound where you keep your lips slightly apart from each other. So if you're conjugating ear, it's sort of like a soft B. You don't want your lips to push against each other like when we say bees either. You don't want it to be like boy. Your lips barely touch each other. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van, and the air just passes between them. All right, and the letter Z does not make a buzzing sound like it does in English. You just pronounce it like an S. So, for example, how you say Z in Spanish is Z-E-T-A, zeta, not zeta, but zeta. Another thing to tell you if you want to know, some students come to me and say, I can't roll my R's at all. I understand. I used to not be able to roll my R's at all. Now I can just barely do it. I do have some tricks that a college teacher gave me so that I can now roll my R's much more than I used to be able to. But if you're struggling with that, you can say them like a soft letter D. So if you want some exercises to do to help you start rolling your R's, I can give them to you. Otherwise, you can sort of cheat your way through it by pronouncing a soft letter D where you see your double R's. If you want some more information on that, I can help you with that as well. All right, that's all level 1 stuff, but of course you guys should all be able to perform to a level 2 or higher. So let's talk about letter combinations. All right, if you see AY or AY or AI together, it's always pronounced like I in eyeball. If you see the letters CH together, it's always pronounced like the CH in cha-cha-cha. Let's talk about the letter C. The letter C can be pronounced a few different ways depending on what vowels it is followed by. If it is followed by A, O, or U, sounds just like the letter K. Ka, ko, ku. If it is followed by UE or UI, you make a KW sound. Que, qui, like in cuenta. You guys remember the cuenta song. And CUI, like the verb cuidar, which means to take care of someone. But if the letter C is followed just by the letters E or I, then they make an S sound. The letter G is similar in the fact that it has a hard sound followed by A, O, or U, and it has a different sound if it's followed by E or I. So the letters G, A, G, O, G, U are pronounced ga, go, gu. So it's like a hard G. If G, E, or G, I is in a combination together, then it's pronounced like the letter H, like in gente. Gente is gente, which means people. But if GUE or GUI are together, we now do not make that W sound. Unlike the C's, which CUE and CUI make a W sound, these do not. GUE is pronounced the way we say ge. GUI is pronounced gi. Ge, gi, no W sound. However, if you do have the letter combinations of GUA, then you can make the W sound gua, like for gloves in Spanish, guantes. So look at those combinations, refer to them often if you want to pronounce them correctly. Last combinations I want to talk about are when you see QU. And much like GUE, QUE has no W sound. And just like GUI, QUI has no W sound. So QUE is que, like in queso. QUI is qui, like in quien. No W sound. If you want the W sound, it would be spelled with the letter C. So please keep all of this information in mind whenever you have to pronounce things correctly in Spanish. All right, my Spanish 2Bs, you all should be ready for level 2.5 to start sounding more and more authentic. So we need to talk about the letter D, which has a hard and a soft sound depending on where it is in a word. If it's at the beginning of a word or after the letter N or the letter L, it's going to be pronounced like the D in dog, but your tongue touches the back of your front teeth. So say dog, dog, dog. Where is your tongue hitting in your mouth? It's hitting the middle of that ridge above your tongue, dog. But now say dog and make it touch the back of your front teeth. Dog, dog, dog. It sounds just a little bit different. So let's try it with a Spanish word. This isn't el día, it's el día. Not el día, but el día. Some people have a knack for hearing the differences in words and some don't, but you can't get it wrong if you put your tongue in the right place. Otherwise, especially when it's between vowels, the letter D sounds like the TH in this. Most of the time it sounds like the TH in the word this. Say the word this, this, this. Where's your tongue at? Well, it's sticking out a little bit and it's touching under your front teeth. This. So let's try it with a Spanish word. Pedir is not pedir, it's pedir, pedir. Put that tongue sticking out and touch under your front teeth. Pedir. Let's talk about the letter T, which does not sound like the English T where it has like that clicking sound, t, 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 and a puff of air. Hold up your hand in front of your face and say T, 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 or T, 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 you feel a puff of air. So how do we say the letter T in Spanish? Well, it's a whole lot more like the letter D. It's a combination T-D sound. It's not quite like a D. It's definitely not like a T. And again, your tongue touches the back of your front teeth, and there's no puff of air. So let's try it with the word that means tea, like iced tea, drinking tea. It's not el té, it's el té. El té, not el té, el té, el té. Give that a try. Press pause if I'm going too quickly. Get all this written down. Listen to it again. Get a feel for it, and let's move on to the letter R, which has two different sounds, again, depending on where or how it is in a word. If it's a single R and it's not at the beginning of a word, it's pronounced like the D in ladder, or the double D in ladder, ladder, ladder. So if I just want to say but, which in Spanish is pero, it's not pero, okay? Have you noticed? Hopefully by Spanish 2B you've noticed it's not pero, okay? Say it like the D in ladder, 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 pero, pero, pero. Or if you have the double R, or a word that starts with a single R, you may have noticed you should do that trill thing. Some people are naturally good at rolling their R's. Some people are not. Here are some things that you can do to improve your ability to do the double R trill. If you say any of these phrases fast enough in English, you will eventually be doing it. So if you say butter up, if we don't say butter up, okay, we say butter up, butter up, butter up, butter up, and before you know it, you're rolling your R's. Or pot of tea, parti, 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 parti. Or if any of you are Red Hot Chili Pepper fans, or maybe your parents are because it's way too old of a band for you, but super awesome, you should give it a listen. Maybe you've heard of their song where the lead singer says, give it away, give it away, give it away now. But he says, give it away, give it away, give it away now. And he starts rolling his R's, even though there aren't any R's in that phrase. So I know you all can do it. And if you want to say dog, instead of but, which is pero, you say el perro, and you roll your R's, which eventually you can do. I'll say this depending where you're at or from stuff, or Spanish level 3, I suppose, but that's your level 2.5 information, or levels 1 through 2.5 information, and now you can continue sounding even more like natural Spanish speakers. Good job.